22nd of March 2022. I've got lots of stuff to go through, so I'm just going to record just small videos. I've had a bit of a nightmare week last week, so yeah, a bit behind. So the first thing I'm going to go through is I sort of started this 30-day challenge, which is to do a trade a day. Knowing full well there's kind of a lot of silliness about it. Very small trades, but the really interesting thing is it just gives you just two things. It just gives you feedback very quickly, and the other one is it's really sort of forcing me to focus on. I tend to sort of drift around a little bit, be a bit philosophical. Whereas, this is just forcing me to sort of just come up with ideas. I'm trying to think, okay, well, I've only got so much time. How do I refine scans? How do I focus? So that's working really well. But the first thing I'm going to focus on is the point that I made about giving feedback. So it's really sort of highlighted one thing for me, which has been great. So I'm going to go through the trades I've done so far. I'm actually 1 or 2 behind. So I've just earmarked. I started this on the 10th of March. I've done 7. I really should have done 8 by now. Anyway, the first one I did was Obnative. I bought that. Where was it? That day here. Oil stocks are sort of, I thought was sort of holding their breakouts pretty well. And of course it didn't. So it had a big sort of earnings here, big push out. It was holding it. And of course it didn't. So I literally bought what was this? Only a few percent sort of position, really small. Actually got stopped out here. And similar one with rig. Got stopped out on that. Again, my logic was thought the breakout was holding, didn't, got stopped out good and proper there, and since recovered. Now I'm going to go to the next one. So those first 2 got stopped out, which wasn't a good start for that. Hess. Bought this one on a pullback. What date was it? 15th. Yeah, perfect. Tagged the 50-day, upside reversal day, and it's just off to the races. So all prices have gone nuts. Really happy with that. Next one I bought was Arlp. Right, so I bought that the same day, which was the 15th. Yeah, another similar looking chart. Rapid pullback to the 50-day, upside reversal day, and that one's a bit slower, but moving away as well. I should say all these stocks I just put the stocks in just to keep this thing pretty simple. Right, the next trade was Medtronic. Bit of a different one. This is more of a blue chip name. So I'm looking for a blue chip sort of a mean reversion with a bit of momentum here. So 50 days turning up, so that's giving me momentum here. And I'm not looking for this to break out and do crazy things. I'm just looking for a mean reversion. And because the volatility on a name like this is so cheap, it doesn't actually have to move much to make a lot of money. Bought that. When did I buy it? Yeah, bought that this day here. Looked like it's going into stage 2. Might have been a bit premature as it's sort of turning out. Still really love the look at this chart. Like I say, it might have been just a bit early here. All right, the next one. Bought that 18th. Not really done much so far. Just bought that in a buy zone here. Similar ones to sort of OVV and rig. Sort of has a breakout holding that. Really nothing to write home about that trade. And the last one is actually bought back AMD. I bought back options, bought options in this. So interesting, I had a sort of longer dated ones I sold around here. I thought, oh no, sorry, stuff this up. I went back and checked. The actual price of the options I sold are about the same, even though the price has gone up. So this is where you get the sort of really volatile times, which spikes implied volatility. So you can actually get out of jar a little bit free sometimes here. Anyway, I've rebought it, put an order in last night. Yeah, rebought it today. So yeah, I'm going to, yeah, so this one's quite interesting. So the 50-day is still falling, but the sort of wedging between the 50 and 200. I've done a previous video saying, well, I prefer to see a rising 50, but it's also a case for buying sort of when they're sort of just wedging in here. It might take a little bit longer to play out, but I was sort of happy just to make a start on this position here. And Nvidia's just gone nuts. So some of these semis are actually looking a bit stronger again, which is great. So yeah, I just want to sort of jump in here. So I'm going to go back to sort of key learning I've taken out of this exercise so far is let's go back to here. Because I'm an end of day trader and because I'm preferring options, I need to, just using things like 8% stop losses it just seems to be so often just a path to nowhere. You'll get stopped out at exactly the wrong time. You're getting stopped out where all, I think, more sort of novice traders are getting stopped out. I think the sharper guys have got much smaller stop losses. They're doing intraday, or if not, they're just turning over a lot more frequently than I am. So the observation that I've made is I really need to be trying to buy where other traders are throwing out the stock. And I haven't really incorporated that into my process. So a good example, so if I just waited for it to come back to the 50, and of course it may not have, and just bought here, I would have saved myself this sort of obvious trap of traders buying a breakout, thinking it's all good, has a bad few days, gets stopped out along with everyone else, and then I got stopped out at exactly the wrong spot there, and then it's just turned and gone away. So yeah, I say I just want to focus, unless it's a super strong market like we had in 2020, get away with all sorts of things. I think on balance, I'm better to be buying where I can at least into sort of pullback, or more crass term, it's like a vomit zone where sort of traders are getting kicked out, and hopefully that's say around the 50-day average, moving average, for example, on an upside reversal or some sort of recovery of the 50. The other thing too is there's a lot of the trading will say, well, yeah, if the stock goes under a 50-day moving average, nothing good happens under there, so sell. So you will see people selling around these 50-day moving averages, and it just seems to me that's, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be that smart to me. There's so many, I want to be buying where everyone else is selling. So Hess have just got that perfectly right, even though like the chart didn't look that great here, because people might say, well, it broke out and failed. But yeah, take the 50-day, nice upside reversal, and bang, away it goes. Now, this is all especially true with options, because the market can be a bit more liquid. So you need a bit of selling, I think, on that day that you're buying, just to get a reasonable price. Otherwise, the bid-ask spread can really kill you in options. So yeah, this one's up. Admittedly, bought the stocks. I'm not really making much money here, but the options would have be up sort of 80-90% pretty quickly now. So yeah, really interesting to see. So I say two things I'm going to be trying to buy in a pullback, and this is much more the markman of anything. He's buying stocks that have got a 50-day moving average, and typically tends to buy, well, from what I can see, I should say, in a pullback zone. People like him who are buying on a breakout, they're buying it early in the day. They're very quick, whereas slow mugs like me, I've got really no hope. So yeah, if we just go back over, those trades. When did I say I bought that one? 15th. Yeah, so not unhappy with that. And let's just see where it goes. Sort of tag the 50 there, tag the 50, tag. Let's see what it can do from here. Yeah, so yeah, the sort of key thing I'm getting from this exercise so far is it's forcing me to really focus, and it's also sort of showing to me that I really need to try and yeah, buy an otherwise sort of uptrending stock, but it's having a weak day or two, and that's my time to get in. The other thing too, I think, is something like an AMD. I put the order in overnight, which is good. I probably wouldn't have got the price I want if I just woke up and did it this morning. I put a slightly lowball offer in, and yeah, through the day I had a bit of a dip, and that's when I must have got set. So yeah, that was really nice to wake up and see that. But yeah, more videos to come. But yeah, interesting learning so far.